go singing low. Bye-bye, blackbird. Oh, when somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Bye-bye, blackbird. No one here can love and understand me. Oh, what hot luck stories they all hand me. Oh, pack my bags and light the light. I'm gonna be home late tonight. Blackbird, bye-bye. Pack up all my cares and woes. Here I go singing low. Bye-bye, blackbird. When somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Bye-bye, blackbird. Nobody can love and understand me. Oh, what hot luck stories they all hand me. Oh, pack my bags and light the light. I'm gonna be home late tonight. Blackbird, bye-bye. Pack up all my cares and woes. Here I go singing low. Bye-bye, blackbird. Oh, when somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Bye-bye, blackbird. No one here can love and understand me. Oh, what hot luck stories they all hand me. Oh, pack my bags and light the light. I'm gonna be home late tonight. Blackbird, 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 bye-bye.
Hey, my name is Timmy Willis. I'm the one and only. If there's another, he's a phony. And we got the real deal here with you. We got the one and only old school band. And to get us started, I'd like to bring to you, up close and personal, Miss Flo Wilson. Flo, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm
Good.
so happy that you took time out from your busy schedule to come down and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to ask you a question. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning. Where were you born?
Wow, right here in Pittsburgh,
What part?
Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like for you growing up then? What were things
I guess like any other child from the north side. I have 4 sisters, so it was a kind of large household, and having my sisters around, that was always a good thing. They're my best friends, so
Yeah.
it was just a happy atmosphere, happy childhood.
So what did y'all do for fun?
Oh gosh, what did we do for fun?
Yeah.
We would get in our basement and play music, listen to music and mimic the different artists.
Mhm.
And that's how I even first started singing.
That was my next question. What was it about the art of singing that caught your interest and that made you want to start singing?
I would say the Jackson 5.
Is that right?
When the Jackson 5 came out, of course, all the girls my age at that time, early preteens, we were into the Jackson 5. So, of course, we had all their music, and we started listening to that, and I was mimicking them, and that's where I first started.
Now, who was your favorite Jackson?
My favorite was Marlon,
Was
believe
it
it or
Marlon?
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked the way he danced. Everybody, years later, looked at Michael as the dancer, but when they first started, Marlon,
Yeah.
he's the dancer.
Marlon had the moves, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people, they like to sing, and they was, but you, not only did you start liking to sing, but when did you really find out and discover that you really had this beautiful voice?
Well, it happened when I was in 6th grade. I was going to Conroy Elementary School, and it was my only year there because we had moved back to Manchester from another part of the north side. And so me going there, I'm the new kid at the school and all, and so at first I wasn't very popular. But then, like I said, with the Jacksons coming out, everybody knew that I was totally into the Jackson 5, and so they were having a talent show. And there were two guys. There was Greg Moore and Wayne Coleman. They wanted to dance in the talent show, but they wanted me to sing while they danced. And so that's how it all happened. We did the talent show, and everybody just went crazy with me singing. And from that point on, that's when I started singing.
How did that make you feel when you were singing and you could, and the people, seeing the people react that way to your singing? How did that make you feel? You remember that?
Of course I remember it. It just made me feel good, you know, especially being a new kid on the block. And, you know, I was always a real shy person anyway, so I didn't mind being in the background and not being popular, but that just made me be more forward, you know, and come out of my little shell.
Now, from that moment on, did you decide that this is what you wanted to do, or you hadn't decided that yet at that point yet?
No, I really hadn't. It just, from that point on, the teachers, I would say, promoted it, because with us singing in school and, you know, having chorus and all that, then they just seemed to promote me more, giving me solos and stuff like that. So it just fell into place that way. Yeah.
Well, I know the first time I heard you sing, and I've told this story to you before. We were going to Latimer Junior High School, and we were having an assembly program at Christmas time. And it was a Christmas song that you sang. And I remember when you got done, I mean, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, everybody was like mesmerized, man. And from that moment on, you became my favorite female vocalist, even to this day. I mean, I've been telling you that for years, and I'm saying it on the air. So y'all, you know it now, right? Okay. But anyway, what was the first time that you had a chance to actually sing? I know you said you sang with the choir, but actually with a band, musicians and stuff like that. You remember when that was?
Whew, I can't really say. I would say it was around 76, 77. And I joined Big Dave in the Rated X band. So that was my first band experience, was working with Dave.
Now, you also have a younger sister who also sings, Louise. She's an excellent vocalist, and some of her children sing as well.
Oh, yes, all of her children sing.
Yeah, so it kind of like runs in the family.
Yes, I would say.
Now, there's another group that you sang, and you did a real powerful vocal performance on the record Brass Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit about what that experience was like? I think the late
wow.
Luther DeJohnette was with you at the time.
Yes.
Could you tell us some about that?
Yes, Brass Monkey. At that time, when I joined Brass Monkey, their female vocalist had just left. So they had asked me to come and join the band, and they had some gigs lined up, and she had kind of put them in a bind. So I just had a limited amount of time to learn their material so that we could do the gigs that he had booked already. So I learned the material and got in the band, and from there we just moved forward from there.
Mm-hmm.
But before that band, I was in Just for the Money.
Just for the Money.
Yeah, it was a band called Just for the Money.
Just for the Money was before Brass Monkey.
Yes.
See, I had it twisted.
Yes.
Now, who was in Just for the Money?
Just for the Money consisted of my cousin Murph Powell,
Okay.
Donald Smoke Smith, Fletcher Tomlin, Mickey Brown,
Okay.
Carvey Lynch, and John Brown.
Yeah. So what was that experience like for you?
It was fun. It was fun being in that band. Being the only female, it was a little weird at times, but my experience being around the guys like that, I enjoyed it because they were themselves. I always told them to just be yourself, and I could say I learned some bad habits, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the experience.
Now, any most memorable moment with Just for the Money? Or most memorable performance or anything that stands out, or is it pretty much?
I would really say with Just for the Money, at the time that I was in that band, I wasn't quite 21 yet.
Oh, okay.
And I remember we played down at the Crazy Quilt a lot, you know, and it was always funny to me because I couldn't drink. You know, I wasn't old enough to drink. And I remember when I did turn 21, I always wanted they had this drink at the Crazy Quilt called the Blue Whale. It was in a big,
Blue Whale.
Yeah, it was in a mason jar, and it was blue, and I couldn't wait to get one of those. And when I turned 21, I went up to the bar, and the guy that was always there, you can't drink, you can't, you know, and I'm like, I'm 21, I could have a drink now, you know. And I got it, and it wasn't all that. But
It wasn't what you thought it was.
No, but there was a lot of good times with Just for the Money. You know, we just did a lot of things, so it was always fun.
And then Brass Monkey, how did that all evolve from there?
Well, they already had a band, like I said, and then the female singer left, so then that's when I came in. And then we had Brass Monkey for quite some time. We were together for probably about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I would say maybe about 10 years
That's a pretty
Brass
good
Monkey
run.
lasted, And while we had Brass Monkey, I incorporated my sister, and she came in like in the 80s, and she was with us for about 2 or 3 years before she left and got married. You know, so that was a fun experience also because that was her first band.
Right.
You know.
Now, what was the members of Brass Monkey again?
The members of Brass Monkey was the late Luther DeJohnette, Fletcher Tomlin, myself, Louise Wilson Harris, Donald Smith.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Carvey Lynch was in that also.
Martell didn't play with you, did he?
No.
No. Okay.
Fletcher Tomlin was our drummer.
I'm hearing that he was in the other group too.
Fletcher Tomlin has been in every band that I've been in except for Rated X.
Is that right? Who was the drummer in Rated X?
Rated X?
Yeah.
Well, at first we had Tony Johnson, but then this guy named Timmy Willis came in.
Oh, I think I know that guy.
Oh, yeah. And so Timmy was in the band with us for a while.
And now, Rated X, was that your first time recording? Because I remember you went to New York and did some recording, which I still have some copies of that, by the way. But was that your first recording experience?
No, it wasn't.
No?
My first recording experience was with Walt Maddox.
Oh, really?
at the age of 15,
Get out of here.
and I recorded a song called Dancing on a Daydream.
Okay.
And that was my first experience, and it was just so awesome to me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And believe it or not, on that recording, Phyllis Hyman is actually singing background.
Oh, she's singing
So,
background for you?
For me.
Ain't that
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
You
So
so special.
that was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Now, again, like I mentioned, Brass Monkey, you recorded a record with that group as well.
Right.
Powerful vocal performance. So what was that experience like for you recording that record?
Oh, that was a lot of fun also. We had, it was a studio in East Liberty, and I can't quite remember the name. It was
wasn't
real
Soundmasters,
small.
was it? Or was it?
It was a small studio. It was in like a house. It was in
Okay.
someone's house. But I remember our keyboard player who's with us now in the old school band, Leonard Johnson, he did a lot of the music arrangement for the song. The song was called You Are Everything. And he actually put together strings, and we had live strings, and that was just so awesome. It was like 4 violinists who came in and did the string parts, and then they, you know, doubled them and tripled them. But it was just so awesome watching them do that, and just having that experience, and it was good. I enjoyed that.
Well, I know I still have my copy of the record
Oh,
that
yeah?
you signed for me. Yeah, I got it in a safe place.
Okay.
Now, the group that you're singing with now is called the Old School Band, correct?
Correct.
Well, when we come back, could you tell us about that?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the one and only Miss Flo Wilson.
What a difference a day makes, a 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterdays were blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day makes, and there's a rainbow before me, and skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, it's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes, and the difference is you. What a difference a day makes, a 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterdays were blue, dear. Today is you.
Those of you just joining us, we're here with the old school band, up close and personal, and we're talking to the very lovely Miss Flo Wilson. We were talking about some of your musical journey here, and our next stop is the old school band.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did that all come about for you?
Well, after Brass Monkey, I wanted to take a break. So I took a small break because I was raising my children.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, they were teenagers. And to me, that was the time when I needed to be at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a break for a couple of years, and I actually went to another band, the Real Silk Band.
Okay.
And I was with them from '89 until '94.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided it was time for me to move on from them. And so I was just sitting home, not really working at the time. And Luther DeJohnette, he called me, and he was putting together another band. So I said, sure, I'm ready to work again. So it was Luther, myself, Fletcher Tomlin, Jerry Brown was our bass player.
Okay.
And I think for a while Leonard worked with us. Leonard Johnson worked
Mm-hmm.
with us on keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we put, goodness, are we the old school band?
Yeah.
Okay, no, Jerry wasn't in the old school
Oh,
band
he
with
wasn't?
us. No, he wasn't in the old school band with us. I'm trying to think who our bass player was.
Well, if you're watching, bass player, give us a call and identify yourself.
I know. I'm sorry, and he's going to kill me for saying that. But it was Ronnie Biggs.
Ronnie Biggs.
Ronnie Biggs was our bass player.
Okay.
And so we got together, and we were sitting around, me, Luther, and Fletcher. We were the bass of the band. So when we're putting it together, we were trying to come up with a name, for this new band. And so Fletcher said, why not call it the old school band, since we're going to be doing old school style music. And so we said, okay, and that's how the name came about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
we've been working together. We've had a couple of bass players, besides Ronnie Biggs. Actually, before Ronnie Biggs, we had the late Herbert Marshall.
Okay.
He was our bass player.
Yeah.
So we worked with him also, and he's awesome. He was awesome, as well as Ronnie, So, yeah, so that's how Old School Band came to be, and we just been working since.
Yeah. Now I know when you look back on your whole musical career up until this point, is there anything that you haven't done that you would still like to do?
I really can't say that there is. A lot of people always say to me, why are you still here? You should be out there making the big money and this and that. But first of all, I think the music industry has changed so much that I don't think that I fit into what they're doing right now. But as far as my experiences over the years, I'm satisfied where I am. I feel like just being here in Pittsburgh, I'm a celebrity here.
Yes, you are.
And I enjoy my celebrity right here. I don't need anything else. I really don't.
So you got the best of both worlds, huh?
I think
still
so.
Here at home.
Right, I'm here at home. I can go to the grocery store without being mugged. So I'm satisfied.
No. Speaking of home, I know that that's one of the songs that you usually end your performance with, and you do a very, very excellent, powerful job on that song.
Thank you.
I mean, I've seen people just get touched. cried one night. I got to confess, yeah, I did. It touched me, but what is it about that song? I mean, because when you sing it, it seems like I never heard you sing it any less than the other times that I've heard you sing it. It's always with that same emotion. What's that all about?
I really don't know. I don't know. My home life was always good. And when I'm singing that song, there's so many people that go through my mind. You know, of course, my family, my grandmother, now my dad, he's gone. I think about him. Just uncles, Luther, you know, I mean, it's just always been a song that just touched me that way because they're all part of me being who I am, and that all came from home. So I guess that's what it is that everybody feels from it.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah.
Well, we definitely feel it, and we appreciate it too. Now, this is the last question I have, and I've been asking this question for. I know you tired of me asking this question. When we gonna get a CD?
Oh gosh.
We need one. I mean, we don't want one. We need one.
Right. Okay. Well, right now, Leonard and myself, we are starting to work on some material for a CD. So hopefully, I'm not going to put a time limit on it because I don't know when we're actually going to go into the production. Yeah, but we are starting to work on something.
Now that's music to my ears.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming down here.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Flo Wilson, up close and personal. Natalie Cole burst on the music scene in the 1970s, cranking out hit after hit after hit. Natalie Cole is a very strong, gifted individual. Her vocals are just superb. And it takes an equally superb vocalist to pull off some of her recordings. And no wonder, we found one, and you know her well. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax. It brings me great pleasure to bring to you Miss Flo Wilson as she sings Natalie Cole.
What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a music of life, seems to be like a bell that is ringing just for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling, swear I was falling. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a music of life, seems to be like a bell that is ringing just for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling, swear I was falling. Why, it's almost like being in love. lasts forever, and the promise to be near each time you call, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and a love whose burning light will warm the winter night. That's all. That's all. There are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. All I have are these arms to enfold you, and the love I can never ever destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and nevermore. That's all. That's all. I can only give you love that lasts forever, and the promise to be near each time you call, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and a love whose burning light will warm the winter night. That's all. That's all. There are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. All I have are these arms to enfold you, and a love I can never ever destroy. If you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and nevermore. That's all. That's all. This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I waited for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me. Oh, I'm so glad you found me in time, and I'm so glad that you rectified my mind. This will be an everlasting love for me. Oh, loving you is some kind of wonderful, 'cause you showed me just how much you care. You've given me the thrill of a lifetime and made me believe you've got more joy to spare, 'cause this will be an everlasting love. Oh, yes, it will now. You brought a lot of sunshine into my life. You show me more joy than I ever knew. You've given me more joy than I ever dreamed of. And no one can take the place of you. Silver gray hair, neatly combed and just you and me. It's so wonderful to know you'd always be around me. Incredible, that's what you are to me. Incredible, you bring out the woman in me with your style of love. Inseparable, yes we are. We're like a flower to a tree, like words to a melody of love. There's no way we can break up, no words that can make us blow our thing, 'cause we're just inseparable. And that's how it is, inseparable. For the rest of our years, it's so wonderful to know you'd always be around.
Welcome to Old School Band, up close and personal. Hi, my name is Timmy Willis, and next we'd like to talk to a very, very talented individual, bass player extraordinaire, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elbert Moochie Ware. How you doing?
Okay, how you doing, Tim?
All right, good to see you, man.
You too, man, always.
Yeah, look, we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Now, where was you born at?
Clarksburg, West Virginia.
West Virginia?
Yeah, down where Chiro spot is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what was it like for you growing up down here?
Well, coming up, I started my musical career as a young drummer, you know, with my family. Yeah, well, my father being a Baptist minister and all, we had a family group, and you know, I had a snare drum and a cymbal.
Okay.
Yeah, I was back in grade school, you know, and we did that, and that really got me into the musical thing. Once playing live, you know, out, like, I like this, you know, and that got me started, you know, and I did that, you know, for a while with the family.
Well, let me ask you this. Did they ask you to play the snare drum and cymbal, or was that your decision?
It was something I wanted to do. I wanted to be part of the group.
Is that
you know,
right?
And like I said, my other sisters and that were older, you know, and you know, they had the group, and that was just something I wanted to do, be part of it.
Yeah. Well, as a little boy, man, what did you do for fun down there, man?
Well, down there, like I said, the usual, you know, down in the country, you know, you can do the country fun things you can't do in the city, you know.
Yeah.
And we had our, you know, our little street fairs and that we had, you know, and basketball, you know, the usual. But I was always into something musically, though.
Right,
you know,
right. No. How long did you play the snare and the cymbal up until, when did that stop for you?
Well, actually, about the age of 12, my father passed at that age.
Oh,
and yeah, and that sort of changed things around. But I still kept playing until I got like in junior high, and then I started venturing out, trying this, trying that.
Yeah. Now, you said you still kept playing. Well, where were you playing? Still in church?
In school, too.
And in school?
Yeah.
So, no, was there a school band that you were playing with it?
Well, yeah, I played with the school band.
Oh, yeah. You played the snare drum, the drum?
Well, yeah, I played drums. Yeah, I started out playing drums first.
Yeah. Okay, now, let's just speed up here a little bit. You're an excellent bass player. So how did that come into the picture?
Well, when they were in junior high, friends of mine, my buddies, they played the tuba, you know, and I heard the bass thing, and I said, well, let me try that, you know, and that got me into reading the bass clef, you know, but then after that, once I moved here to Pittsburgh when I was 14, my brother-in-law was a bass player. He was an old school bass player. You know, he played with the thumb, you know, everything, even if it wasn't funk, yeah, it was a slow song, he played it with his thumb. You know, he was an old school bass player, and he taught me how to play. And my sister, she played keyboards, and she bought him a guitar, and once he showed me on the bass, we just started rolling. We had a little band, a little family band going on there, you know, so yeah.
Now, what about the first time that you actually worked with a band that actually, you know, started getting paid for?
Well, we did that with that band in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, and we had another band called Clover from the West End while I was in high school. We worked out. And also, I was fortunate enough to, in where I was living at that time, I used to hear a band practicing around there. And I went around there, I said, hey, I play bass, can I come listen to y'all? And sometimes their bass player wasn't making it, and the guy asked me, you know, he let me sit in, and I started playing. He liked what I was doing, and he taught me a lot about playing, because he was a strict guy. You know who I'm talking about. When I mentioned the name Rodney Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had King's Court.
Right.
He had the band King's Court. So, yeah, and he was showing me a lot then, because like I said, I was still in high school. And he took me out on jobs then. I was doing jobs out with them, a couple jobs out with them too also when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what did you go there, from there musically? What group did you hook up with after that, you remember?
See, I played with the, like I said, Clover for a long time. Even when I graduated, I played with Clover. And then I met Chester Austin. I'm sure you know him, Pittsburgh Finest.
Yeah.
I joined up with that group. And we worked for a good many years with Chester.
That was you in there.
Yeah, that
used
was
to
me
come
with
check
Chester.
y'all out,
Yeah, Wally G's and Carl's and all that. Yeah. So I worked with Chester for a long time in that band, Pittsburgh Finest. And also I started working with a blues rock band called Hooker. We called ourselves Hooker. And that's a blues rock band, you know, in which we had that's when I first started opening up for acts. We opened up for like Junior Wells and Buddy Guy once and Muddy Waters, you know. So I got the experience of doing that with them.
So that was pretty big crowd when you was opening up for those people.
Yeah, it was a good experience then.
Now what did that do for you, man, when you finally got up there, man, and all these people, man, these speakers and all that?
Yeah, well, that made me like, I for sure want to do this.
Yeah.
you know, I know that I want to do this. You know, and like I said, I've been fortunate through my career to keep playing, always have something steady and always have something, you know, on the side when people call me, you know, so I've been fortunate with that.
Right. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with you as well.
Sure.
And it was with Walt Maddox.
Okay.
Because I met Walt in 1989 when I moved back to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I think you've probably been working with him before then.
Probably so, yeah, because it's been a good while. Yeah, I've been working with Walt.
So I remember we worked when he was doing his solo singing, and also backing up the Marcells.
Right.
And also with his tribute to Nat King Cole.
Right, correct. Yeah.
And so now this brings us up to the old school band. How did your affiliation with the old school band come about? Well,
I knew Leonard back from, like I said, that's when I started working with Walt. I met Leonard a while ago, but I ran into Fletcher one day, and me and Fletcher really didn't know each other, but you know how musicians, you can almost tell a musician. You know, we started talking about old times, and he mentioned, like, you know, he played, and one thing led another. I said, well, then he mentioned Leonard's name. I said, well, hey, I know Leonard, you know. Right. And one thing just led to another. Me and Leonard had been out of touch for a couple of years, but we got back in touch, and, you know, when it came available, I just, you know, they called me. Yeah. But it was fortunate. Like I said, I didn't know Fletcher. We just got to talking, and one thing led to another.
Yeah, but you know him now, right?
Yeah, I know it now.
Is he as crazy as people say he is?
I mean, I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I don't know. You put me on the spot here.
We gonna talk to him next.
Okay.
We gonna find out.
All right.
But when you look back on your musical career, do you have any regrets?
No, I can't say I have any regrets. I enjoyed the whole ride, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a lot of good experiences, a lot of good, you know. It's all been good. I can't regret nothing.
Well, was there anything that you haven't done yet that you still would like to do? I know I asked Roger Humphreys that question, and he said he would like to build a school for kids to teach them music and things like that. You know,
that'd be nice. That's a big dream. You know, that's something that there's a lot of things. If you see it financially like that, you say, hey, I'd like to do that. You know, I'd like to do that.
Well, what about you? Is there anything that you haven't done that you still would like to do?
I've always said if I had the financial ability to have my own studio. You know, I'd like to have that, my own recording studio. That way I could go and do whenever I want, invite you know how it is, you know, so many musicians, you know, so many, you think, you know, you can, so much material you could do, you know, whenever you had a time. You don't have to wait for nobody. Just go and, you know, do your own thing when you want to, man.
Right. Well, I tell you what, man, it's a real pleasure sitting here talking to you, man.
All right, you too, Tim,
you know
always, man.
I mean, a lot of people have been enjoying your playing for many, many decades.
Well, I appreciate
and looking forward to hearing some more of that funky bass of yours.
All right, man, I appreciate it.
All right.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elbert Moochie Ware.
All right.
stand on your own. And that's what they tell me. You can make it alone. Where does it say I have to move far away from you to prove I'm strong? Oh, when all it really proves is I'm lonely without you, and loneliness has to be wrong. I live for your love every day, every minute. I live for your love in my life. Want you in it. I live for your love. I admit it. I live for your love. I wake up with no one to kiss. Sometimes I wonder if I just exist. I know there are people I can see, places I can be, and friends to call. Oh, but what does God to do? There's no substitute for you. I want you or nothing at all. I live for your love every minute. I live for your love. Want you in it. I live for your love. I admit it. I live for your love and your kisses. You know how I miss it. Your sweet, gentle touch. I need you so much that I just can't go on anymore. What I wouldn't give for, 'cause darling, I live for your love every minute. I live for your love. Want you in it. I live for your love. I admit it. Oh, I live for, I just want what I wouldn't give for your love. I live for your love every day, every minute. I want you in it. Oh, my baby, yeah. I live for your love. You may think I'm foolish for the foolish things I do. You may wonder how come I love you when you get on my nerves like you do. Well, baby, you know you bug me. There ain't no secret about that. Well, come on over here and hug me, and baby, I'll state the facts. Well, honey, it ain't your money, 'cause I've got plenty of that. I
temptation always comes along. There's always somebody tempting you into doing something they know is wrong. Man, they'll tempt you, man, with silver, and they'll tempt you, sir, with gold. Well, they'll tempt you with the pleasures that flesh must surely hold. When they eat tempted Adam with an apple, well, I ain't going for that. I know it was a pink Cadillac, first velvet seats, riding in the back, cruising down the street, waving to the girl, in and out of sight, spending all my money on a Saturday night. Honey, I just wonder what you do there in the back of your pink Cadillac. Whoa. Some folks say that it's too big and it uses too much gas. Some folks say that it's too old and it just goes too fast. You know, love is bigger than a Honda and it's bigger than a Subaru. Hey man, there's only one thing and one car that will do. We don't even have to drive it. We can park it out in back and party in your pink Cadillac. First velvet seats, riding in the back, cruising down the street, waving to the girl, in and out of sight, spending all my money on a Saturday night. Honey, I just wonder what you do there in the back of your pink Cadillac. Hey, Cadillac. Hey, hey. Pink Cadillac.
For those of you just joining us, you are definitely missing it. So you just go ahead and have you a seat and get comfortable. We're here with the old school band, up close and personal. And right now, we like to bring to you one of my very, very good close friends. He's like my brother from another mother. Exceptional drummer, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fletcher Tomlin. How you doing, Fletcher?
Brother Tim?
Hey, Fletcher, like I asked everybody else, I want to ask you too, man, because a lot of people have been enjoying your drumming for many a decades, but this is an opportunity for them to get to know a little bit about who you are. Well, where were you born at?
North Side.
North
Pittsburgh,
Side.
PA.
All right.
Central North Side, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
Now, what did you do for fun as a kid when you was growing up? What was that like
Oh,
for
man, the
you?
North Side was a magical place, man. There was Jefferson Playground, and we had West Park and PV swimming pool, man. It's like, and unlike the kids today, man, everything we did was exercise, man, you know? Everything, you know?
Yeah. Now, drums. When did drums come into your life? I mean, what was it about the drums that caught your interest that made you want to play drums?
Actually, just even watching parades, you know what I mean? The drummers always interested me, drummers. And then on the North Side, man, back in the late 60s, man, early 70s, there was drummers on every, I mean, you walk around the North Side, you could hear a drummer in an attic on one street and a drummer around the corner and bands on every block, man. It was, you know, and I had two buddies, Carvey Lynch and Mickey Brown. They had little Tiger guitars they got for Christmas, and so they had the guitars, and everybody wanted to play guitar, including me. So I said, well, everybody can't be guitar players. I mean, you know, and plus I was interested in drums, so
Yeah.
that's how the drumming came about.
Now, you remember when you got your first drum set?
Wow, man, it was crazy. People thought I had a set way before I had one. I'd be in my basement. My buddies, they had guitars and amps, man, but I had an old metal stove and a roll of wire the wire was my cymbal, the old little stove was my snare,
Yeah.
and the dirt basement was my bass drum, and my bass player was allergic to dust, so needless to say, after every practice, his eyes were puffed up. So, well, Mickey Brown, yeah.
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 So when did you get your first drum set? You
Actually, I begged and begged for those drums, man. I'd say I would think I was in. It was the summer of 8th grade when I came out of 8th grade and was getting ready to go to 9th. I got my first set, man.
Yeah.
From the $50 from the pawn shop, but $50 was a lot of money back
That's
then.
right. That was a good set.
A lot of money.
Now
Yeah.
you mentioned Carvey Lynch and Mickey Brown, and I remember you had I used to come hear you guys play, but you had Raymond Fearby was playing.
Right. Raymond
also
was our
guitar.
rhythm guitar player.
Right. And what was the name of that group?
Oh man, we had so many names, man. We played with this older gentleman, man, when we probably were 15 and 16. Bobby O'Brown, man, he did the Tyrone Davis and James Brown thing.
Okay.
And we weren't old enough to drink, man. We were in bars, man, 15, 16. You know, we'd play for hours and they'd give us $30 to split between us, and hey, we was happy as could be, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, what was that like for you the first time you actually played in front of an audience? I mean, what did that do for you?
Hey man, it was like a dream come true. Because you heard, I mean, there were so many mentor drummers on the North Side, man. We had like Skippy Reed and Kenny Jordan, Baby Cleveland, Baby Ely, I mean, just drummers, Greg Humphreys, Roger Humphreys, Jimmy Dixon.
Yeah.
We had a million drummers, man, you know, so to get on the stage, I mean, you were like almost there, man. You just had to perfect your craft.
Right,
You know, so, yeah.
Now, when you got with what was that? The first group that you played with the Murph Powell.
That was
that just for the money?
That was just for the money.
Yeah. How did that experience go?
Man,
with you? What was that like? Take us there.
A lot of fun, man. I think when I got in the group probably when I was early 20s, and my parents gave me this 3-story house on the north side, and the whole band lived in the house, man. It was
Garfield.
Animal House, man. It was Animal House, girls 24/7, you know, and we had the practice room there, man. It was, you know, just a lot of fun, man. And we had a great band, man. We had a great band. As a matter of fact, we left out of here in '79 on our way to California. We had an engagement in like Austin, Texas for a couple of weeks. By the time we got to Austin, it's like the band, like the older guys in the band were on this side, and the younger guys, and I was like, don't think I'm going to California. I'm going back to Pittsburgh after this one.
Yeah, so you came on back.
Yeah.
So what did you do when you came back home musically?
Well, came back, most of the guys in the band, as a matter of fact, all of us, we came back, man, you know, and continued playing, you know. There was a lot of places to play, a lot of places to play in, man, you know.
Yeah. And so the next musical stop was what group for you?
After Just for the Money would have been Brass Monkey.
Yeah. So what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, Brass Monkey, man. We had a band that we got so good that we threw our own affairs after a while. You know, the old grotto on the north side probably held about 700 people. We sold tickets for a thing called the 99 centers back then. We sell tickets for 99 cents. We'd have 1,200 people in there. People were scalping tickets for $5 outside the place. Yeah, man, it was good days, good days.
That must have been a good feeling, man.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, man, packing the house, man. Had little uniforms, little glittery, you know, Martian type uniforms, man.
Yeah. Islam Grotto.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good
now
time.
Also, that record that you made, on the B side, you sang lead on it. So what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I mean, back then I did a lot of singing, man, you know.
You did a whole lot of singing.
I did a lot.
We're going to talk about that a little later on.
A lot.
Because I haven't been hearing you much lately, and we're going to talk about that. But what was that experience like for you going and recording the studio and actually, you know, not just playing drums, but actually singing lead?
That was, man, I mean, that was like almost like, that was like second nature for me, man, because back then I played and sang all the time, you know what I mean? That's what I did, you know. It was, you know, drumming and singing, it was like a package for me, man, you know.
Right, right,
You know, it was like the double threat thing, you know. This cat's not only playing, he's blowing too, you know. So.
But that whole recording studio thing, was that the first time that you recorded in the studio?
No, man, it was. First time I recorded was, you know, with my group with Carvey Lynch and Mickey Brown and Raymond Fibry. Man, we were probably 16 years old, 15 and 16 years old. It was an old recording studio called G&C down on Penn Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Mono, everything was in the same room, man. We recorded a couple songs with the old guy Bobby O'Brown, and then we did our own thing. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine just told me he found the old 45, and I can't wait to hear it. He said it's horrible. I said, I don't care. I want to hear it.
I want to hear it too.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, when we come back, you've been kicking some strong drums for the old school band, keeping that whole thing together. So when we come back, would you tell us what that experience is like for you? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fletcher Tomlin, up close and personal. We'll be right back.
I've got love on my mind. I've got love on my mind. I've got love on my mind. And there's nothing particularly wrong. It's a feeling I feel inside. When I woke up early this morning, it was staring me straight in my eyes. I've got love on my mind. I've got love on my mind. I've got love on my mind. When you touch me, I can't resist. And you've touched me 1,000 times. When I think of your tender kiss, then and there I start to unwind. Ooh, in your arms, I'd like to be, yeah, caressing you gentle and tenderly, oh yeah, from sunrise to sunset, all through the day. I've been waiting for your return, and you know this is where I'll be. I can say to the world I've learned, only you can satisfy me, satisfy me. Oh, you have made me so very happy. Oh, baby, love, oh, my mind. Hey, hey. I've got loving on my mind, yeah. And it's a whole lot of love, a whole lot of love for you, baby. Let me hear you say it. Say it for me one more time. Whoa, I like the way you say it. Say it for me 2 times. It's like paradise. Come on and say it twice. It's a whole lot of love, a whole lot of love for you, baby. I just said, I got love. I got love on my mind. Love on my mind. I've got Yes, yes. All my life I've waited, I've waited, I've waited for someone like you. I've waited a lifetime for someone just like you. Somebody who would take my hand, someone who's warm and true, romancing by candlelight. A touch from you thrills my heart. Say that you love me and you feel right. Nothing can keep us apart. 'Cause all my life I've waited for someone like you with a heart of gold. I always knew you would come my way. All my life I've waited for someone like you.
Talking to Mr. Fletcher Tomlin. Now, Fletcher, some people I know I've heard call you Junie. Now, are you named after your father?
Actually, I am, but I'm the third. And Junie comes from some of my neighbors. I was born in June. They call me Junie Bug. You know.
Yeah, but you're the third. But you
Third.
were named after your father. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we was talking about the old school band. What is that whole experience like for you? Because I know you guys been together and you've been mesmerizing audiences, man, all over the place, man. You've been doing some really big shows and you're down CJs a lot.
Yeah.
What is that whole experience like for you playing with the old school band?
It's probably what every musician probably would dream of, you know what I mean, without going on the road, you know what I mean, you know. I mean, we've opened for a lot of cats, you know what I mean, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, New Birth. I worked with Charlie Ireland before.
Okay.
We opened for Charlie Wilson and the Gap Band, you know. So I mean, pretty much we're doing what the cats on the big circuit are doing without even leaving home, man, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Now, when you look back on it all, do you have any regrets?
No, I wouldn't change a thing, man. I have no regrets, man. I wouldn't change one thing.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that? Well, but before I go there, I noticed when we were talking to Flo earlier, all the groups that she was singing with, you were drummer in all those groups. Is there some kind of connection there?
Yeah, pretty much there's a connection. Yeah.
What kind of connection?
Well, actually, she's my wife-to-be. We've been together for a long time. So.
Yeah, so you're engaged?
Pretty much.
Congratulations. That's a beautiful thing. Now, is there anything that you have not done yet? And it don't even have to be involved with music, but that you still would like to do?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the music thing's perfect. You know, kids, grandkids that love me, everything's good, man. You know, life is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you took time to come down and sit down and share some of your wonderful life with us. We've been enjoying the wonderful sounds of the old school band, and we look forward to some more performances from the old school band. If you hadn't had a chance to catch them live, you owe it to yourself because they're excellent every time. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Until next time, make somebody happy, make somebody strong.
shining brightly beside me. And if we keep this love, we will last through all eternity. It's just the way we are. I love it, and it's the way it should be. 'Cause our love will stand tall as the trees. Our love will spread wide as the seas. Our love will shine bright in the night like the stars above, and we'll always be together. My love is surely one thing you can surely depend on. In times of darkness and fear, I go to you, I know you make me strong. You're gonna make me happy, and you're gonna make me smile. 'Cause our love will stand tall as the trees. Our love will be for the whole world to see. Our love will change people's wrongs to right, and we'll never die. 'Cause we'll always have each other. Will stand tall as the trees. Our love will spread as wide as the seas. Our love will shine bright in the night like the stars above, and we'll always be together. Yeah. Our love, we got a mighty, mighty good love. Hey, hey, baby, our love. We got a good old-fashioned love. Hey, hey, baby, our love. We got a mighty, mighty good love. Ooh, that's nice. Bring it down just a little, because love is soft, love is sweet, love is nice, and love is gentle. Love is joy, and love is pain. Love is laughing in the rain. I got love on my mind. Love is always right on time. Love is you, and love is me. Love is gonna set you free. there with the things I've been knowing. The wind that makes the tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning, sprinkling the sea. It makes it all clean. Well, maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. Well, it sure would be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time, in my life to grow up. Time be my friend and let me start again. Well, suddenly my world's gone and changed its pace, but I know where I'm going. Now I have had my mind spun around in space, but yet I watched it growing. And oh, listening, God, please don't make it hard. You've opened up your heart.